let's talk about some things in Java that may not apply to every language that we are going to use in your time here, but they're things you should understand about Java and how it handles strings. The first one is that strings are immutable. And the word immutable means they cannot be changed. Strings don't change. Um, After it's created, its value can't be changed, and because of that, Java can process them very efficiently, but sometimes it's almost too efficiently. So here's a little line of code. String str1 equals hello. String str2 is hello. So what we expect is that there are two objects. One is called str1 and one is called str2. Okay, and the variables point to those objects in memory. One string that says hello and the other string that says hello. So we expect this. String 1 points to this word hello, and string 2 points to this other word hello. That's not actually what Java does. Java would realize that these two things are the exact same string, and trying to be efficient, it does this. String 1 points to this hello object, and so does string 2 because it was identical. This, that can create a few issues when you expect that they're two different objects. So let's look at a quick example. I might come back to these slides here in a second. I still had we're working our way up to what I had on the screen. So here I have two strings, welcome to programming and welcome to programming. And if I run it and I say, hey, print and test if string 1 is equal to string 2. And you can see that it says true. They are equal. And we look at this and we say, well, yeah, they're equal. This one says welcome to programming and that one says welcome to programming. Of course they're equal. Here's the problem. Let me go back to what I had when I first brought this slide up. Okay. Now I want you to look at what I have here. This first string is set to welcome to programming. The second string is set to welcome. Okay. And then we take that string and we concatenate onto it. And we're going to talk more about concatenation in a minute, but I know you have already had this, even though some of the slides we're going to talk about don't have it. String 2 plus space equals to programming. So we combine welcome with space to programming, and it is identical to this string, right? So they should be equal. And I have it printed out here, so we're going to print them both out so that we can see that both strings hold the same value. Okay. So welcome to programming. String 2 is welcome to programming, but notice what happens when I compare it. String 1 equal string 2. Is that true? You would say yes, because they both hold the same value. Okay. Two objects in memory both hold the same value, but Java will tell you they are not equal. Because string 1, since this is an object, holds a reference to this object that was created in memory, and string 2 holds a reference to another memory location that had welcome into it. Okay, so they're two different objects now, which is probably what we expected the first way I showed you. And then I changed the second object, so the contents of the object are identical to the first object, and we can see that here because we printed them out. But equal in Java, if you're comparing two strings, doesn't compare their contents. It compares the addresses in memory where they are stored. And these two objects, even though their contents are the same, are stored in two different places. Now that can seem confusing to some people, especially when you're first starting out. But know that it's two different objects, two different locations, so their memory addresses are different. When I compare this and we compare memory addresses, they are not the same, even though the contents are. In practical terms, even if that's a little mind-blowing for you, that just means when we compare strings, we can't compare them using the double equal sign. Matter of fact, my NetBeans is actually telling me, hey, be careful, you're comparing strings. You're comparing strings using double equals or a not equal to, and it knows that's a dangerous thing to do. Because while we might think these strings are equal because of their contents, they're actually not. Okay, and then it gives us some ways to finish, to repair that, and we're going to talk about those shortly.